out of Safek. So, anyways, tonight is, as you know, the last night of the year. What? Okay, no. That so that means that Maariv tonight is the final Maariv of the year. Tomorrow is the final Shachrit and the final Mincha. So it's brought down in the Sfarim, the Pir Kabbalah, that the last day of the year one has a certain power. There's a certain and one is meant to do tshuva. The final tefillah of each of those can correct all the tefillot that have come before the year before. So it's a very, very auspicious time. You should be aware of that. I think I mentioned at the Yom Yun, one of the shiurim I gave last week, how we say, right, Barech Aleinu et Hashana Hazot. It's very, very strange. We come into tonight, we come to the last day. Tomorrow we daven mincha. 5 minutes before the end of the year, we say Barech et Hashana Hazot. So obviously we aren't going to change the nusach of the tefillah. Already, if you daven mincha gedola on the last day, you say this. If you daven mincha ketana, you say no. But it's brought down that there's a Chazal say Yom Echad b'Shana Chashuv Shana. One day is like an entire year. There's a power. In the day, things haven't gone so well. We haven't had the kavanah we wanted in our davening, whatever. But the last one has a certain power to it. So we should not let that slide. Okay, I wanted to share with you a Gemara coming into Rosh Hashanah. We've discussed this before, but it's a fascinating Gemara. When you read it, it's almost hard to believe. It's one of those. If the Gemara hadn't said it, we couldn't say it, right? But this is a Gemara Masechet Shabbat. We know that Yitzchak Avinu plays a very, very central role, all the Avot, but Yitzchak Avinu in particular plays a central role in Rosh Hashanah. We have the shofar, we talk about the Akedah. In fact, tonight is known as Leil Zchor Brit, right? We remember the Akedah and the Slichot tomorrow morning. We will say again and again and again and again, we'll invoke the Akedah and the merit of the Akedah as we will throughout the davening of Rosh Hashanah. So this Gemara does not talk about the Akedah as such. Maybe there is a connection, we'll see in a moment, but it talks about something very, very powerful and very poignant that Yitzchak Avinu does. So this is the Gemara in Masechet Shabbat, it's on Daf Pei Tet Amud Bet, and the Gemara tells us this story, which when it happened or when exactly it's referring to, we don't know, but it says the following thing, and it opens up, it's quite frightening. It says, La'atid lavo, Yomar la HaKadosh Baruch Hu la'Avraham, Banecha chat'uli. There will be a time in the future, we don't know when, we don't know exactly what it's referring to, but it's metaphorical. But it says in the future, days to come, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu will come to the Avot, he'll come to Abraham, and he says to him, Banecha chatuli, your children have sinned. The Jewish people have gone off the derech, right? They've gone astray. What should we do? Come on, Abraham, let's talk about it. Your children, your grandkids, right? What should we do to them? So Amar lefanav, what do you think Abraham's going to say? So again, if we didn't know the Gemara, we think Avraham Avinu, Chesed, right? Avraham Avinu is the one who prays for Sdom. He prays for... Obviously, he'll say, let them go. That's not what he says. Right? La'atil lavo yomar la'akadosh baruch hu la'Avraham Avinu banecha chatuli. Amar lefanav ribono shel olam yimachu al kedushat shemecha. It's frightening. Avraham Avinu says, let them die, let them be wiped out. Let them be erased for kedusha al kiddush Hashem. Amar, Eimale leYaakov dava leitzar gidul banim, ifshar dabar rachmi alayu. Kadosh Baruch Hu is not pleased with that answer. Why, particularly, that's the answer Avraham Avinu gives. That's up for discussion. But he says Hashem is not pleased with that answer. He doesn't want to wipe the Jewish people out. So he goes to Yaakov. He says, Yaakov Avinu, he had tzar gidul banim. He knows it's not so easy. Your children don't always go the way that you want them to. Right? Maybe he'll have more mercy on them. Amar le banecha chatu. So Hashem says to Yaakov, he says, your children have sinned. And Yaakov says, Amar lefanav ribono shel olam yimachu al kedushat shemecha. He says, wipe them out. Let them die al kiddush Hashem. Amar lo b'sa beitam v'lo b'davda ke'etza. Kadosh Baruch Hu says there is no wise advice with the elders, and there is no counsel with the younger ones, right? Avram and Yaakov, the oldest and the youngest. Didn't work. Amar lo leYitzchak banecha chatuli. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to Yitzchak Avinu, and he says, Banecha chatuli. And now what Yitzchak Avinu does is unbelievable. And again, if we would have expected a different answer from Avram, so we would have expected a different answer. Yitzchak is the one who's Gvura. Yitzchak is the Midah of Din. Yitzchak is the one who if anybody's going to be harsh, express harsh judgment, we'd expect from Yitzchak. But listen to what Yitzchak says. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Banecha chatuli, your children have sinned to me. Amar lefanav ribono shel olam, banai velo banecha. First things first, Kadosh Baruch Hu, let's get things straight, says Yitzchak. What are you talking about? You're coming to me, you're saying, my children? My children? They're not your children? What are you talking about? They don't belong to you? בשעה שהקדימו לפניך נעשה לנשמע קראת להם בני בכורי. At the time when Bnei Israel came and they said Naseh before Nishma, Naseh Nishma, you said Bani Becholi. You said Israel is my firstborn. Achshav banai velo banecha. And now you say, oh no, now they're my kids. They're Yitzchak's children. They're not your children. It's the first thing, let's get it straight. Ribono shel olam, they're not just mine, they're yours. And now, this is, you want a lesson in Talmudic analysis, listen to this. So he says, V'od, I'll tell you further. Ribono shel olam, you're telling me that they've sinned, you're telling me they need punishment. So let's work it out. Let's go through it together. He says, Kama chatu, how much have they really sinned? What have they done? Kama shnotav shel adam 70 shana. Okay, pasuk in Tehillim, we know a person lives, how long? A person lives for 70 years. Okay, so you want to call them to account for 70 years of sin. Dal Yisrin, Delo Anash Dalayu. First 20 years before a person's chayav in the Beit Shamala, right? 20 years take off. The first 20 years don't count. Okay, Pashalu Chamishin. So we've taken off 20. We started off with 70. We've taken off 20. We're left with 50. 50 years of sin. Okay. Dal Kaf Hey Deleliota. Pashalu Kaf Hey. Says take off 20. You've got 50 years left. Half the time it's night. They're asleep. Take off all the time. Then the time they go to sleep. So you've got left with 25 years. 25 years of sin. Dal Taute Israel Palga. Out of 25, let's cut that in half again. Why are we taking off half? 12 and a half years you can remove. Titzluye umeichal udaveitakise. They go, they daven, they go and they eat, they go to the bathroom. All that time they're not sinning. Okay, that's another half, 12 and a half years. 12 and a half years left. And then he says Yitzchak, and it's not Rabbi Yitzchak of Aditchev, it sounds like it, but this is Yitzchak Avinu. He says, Imata sovel et kulam mutav. You got 12 and a half years. 12 and a half years of sin. What's that? What's the big deal? He says, if you can accept that, fine. V'imlav, and if that's not enough, pauga alai or pauga alecha. Let's go halves. I'll take half on me, you take half on you, and that's what. And you can forgive them. V'im dimtzei lomar kulam. And if you're going to say, that's not enough, I'm not going to take the 12 and a half, I'm not going to take half of that, Yitzchak. So Yitzchak Avinu says, that's not enough. Kulam alai hakrevit nafshi kamach. Says then they're all. You want me to take all of them? Well, I've already sacrificed myself for you. I've already given myself up. I was at the Akedah. I was willing to go, and that was it. Amazing story that the Gemara tells us. And what's the lesson? What's the Gemara here trying to tell us? Yitzchak Avinu is the one who comes and he stands up. We're entering into Rosh Hashanah. We're entering into Yom Adin. We're looking for all the merits that we can have. We're looking for all the way to stand up and to justify ourselves. Yitzchak Avinu says, I'm going to come here and I'm going to stand up for you. And if nothing else will stand the merit of the fact that I was willing to sacrifice myself, that will be enough. And that will be enough to save the Jewish people. Chazal tell us that when we blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, so why do we blow? Lama tokin b'shofar shel ayil, says the Gemara Masechet Shabbat, the Gemara Masechet Rosh Hashanah, says b'shofar shel ayil. The ayil reminds us of the Akedah of Yitzchak ben Avraham, and Hashem says, Ma'aleh ani alechem ki'ilu akatem l'atzmachem lefanai. We remember the sacrifice of Yitzchak, and we remember that HaKadosh Baruch Hu considers it as if we have sacrificed ourselves before Him. Chazal also tell us in another place that the pasuk that we say when we blow the shofar, we say Ashrei ha'am yodei truah. What does it mean, Ashrei ha'am yodei truah? This is the nation that knows, that understands how when we blow the shofar, everybody can blow an instrument. But when the Jewish people blow the instrument, they blow the shofar, they know the trick, they know the secret, and the secret is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes from Kisei Din to Kisei Rachamim. That He's sitting in the throne of judgment, and we blow the shofar, He moves across into the throne of mercy. If we combine all of these Gemarot and all of these ideas together, maybe the idea is this: that what is the secret? That's exactly that. The secret is reminding of the merit of the zchut of Yitzchak ben Abraham, who was not only willing to sacrifice himself, he was willing to stand up for the Jewish people and say that we have those merits and we are able to, and we don't judge them in the sense of din, judge them in the sense of rachamim. And the way that we know in the proof that we have those merits going on generation after generation is because it does not end with Yitzchak. The Gemara here is a metaphor. When we talk about the merit that Yitzchak had to sacrifice himself, so we've seen in our own days, in the most tragic ways, but of 2 years now, day after day, so many in the Jewish people that are willing to stand up in exactly the same way as Yitzchak Avinu and willing to sacrifice themselves. Many have sacrificed themselves, but are willing to do that. And that is who we are. And that is what the Jewish people are about. And Bezrat Hashem, that merit, that zchut of avot, and the zchut of banim as well, should stand us in good stead when we blow the shofar and we hear it. This is not some mystical, this is not some trick that's going on, but we are really invoking the merit that Yitzchak had, the merit that we all have. Bezrat Hashem, Hashem will move from the throne of judgment to the throne of mercy, the throne of kindness, and we should all be signed, inscribed, and sealed for a happy and good year.